Good morning, everybody. Another beautiful day here in South Carolina. A couple things I'm going to be doing today, and it'll probably get completely altered from this plan. So here it is. I've got several laptops, okay? Several of the same type. Each one is running a different operating system. Most of them are running Linux of some flavor or another, some various distros. And I'll be doing updates on them. And I wanted to show you the different screens and the different configurations that are available in them. So hop in, we'll chat.
I think you're really cool. I like you a lot. Maybe we can hang out or something. Hey, I think you're really cool. I like you a lot. Maybe we can hang out or something.
Okay, I didn't want to just bore you to tears and just run through all the updates that were available and all that. This is the device that is running Debian 12, and it's pure Debian. Let me tell you something. They do not make it easy for you to install Debian pure on a laptop. There's a lot of Cheerios that you have to jump through to install it. I'm kind of interested in Debian because it's not Ubuntu, well, there's a lot of just stuff going on where it used to be super secure. You want security, you use Linux, and more Linux companies are kind of not all of them, some of them are starting to bend and making it easier for us non-programmers to integrate Windows or Mac or Android with Linux, and you know, instead of the traditional more safe web browsers, companies like Firefox and stuff like that, where they're integrating and being bought. Look, if it's got the Google Business Network, any of the Google plugins or Facebook plugins or Microsoft plugins in it, you're pretty much screwed. So as far as a security aspect, so therefore I've been playing with these, and the biggest reason that I wanted these, I'll show you if it'll zoom in there and not totally blur out and drive people insane, was the ham radio aspect. I don't know how clear that is. I wanted to be able to take the laptop and oh, by the way, this is a Dell 5175. The place I worked had deployed these, and I really thought they were pretty cool. The ones that they had were the soft cover keyboard, and I bought a bunch of these and fixed them, and batteries and hard drives and screen replacement. Just be really careful when you buy them. They're kind of a low, smaller, slower chip in them. They don't have a lot of memory, but I thought that would be great for doing ham radio, doing POTA or SOTA, or just anything where you needed to communicate offline while this is connected online. If you we're going to do that sort of thing, and you JT8, any type of those communications, that a smaller, now this is a heavy little bastard, by the way. It's got a battery in here and a battery in there, but it's a portable. The biggest thing is that it doesn't draw so much power. I can power it off the converter that comes stock in my Ascent. It's on the back of the center console and plug in, and I can plug this in and power it inside the vehicle to recharge it. I believe there's probably even a plug-in cigarette adapter that plugs straight in. It's USB-C plug-in right there. Had to buy all new power supplies and the pointers, bought all these new. None of that came with them when I bought them. So anyways, I think I have 5 of them. Each one has got a different OS. Sorry, I'm trying to put that back in one-handed. A different OS operating system on them. One of them is a Windows 10, which is going away, and that one's set up completely for use with SDR, and that's really kind of what this was set up for. I haven't completely gone through and got everything on it. All the different apps that I want to have on here and running, but they're all kind of stuffed under, like a Cubic SDR or SD Angel, SDR Angel. So anyways, that's the primary reason for that. I kind of jerked around and I did the update. When you've got a lot of multiple laptops running different things and they're not always on, you don't always mess with them. Sometimes you just kind of got to pump the brakes and do an update. But anyways, I just wanted to show that even with one of these smaller, less powerful CPUs and memory, you can in fact run Debian 12. I believe this is Debian 12 on it successfully. You can install it. You can jump through the Cheerios and you can get it to run on this type of device. The touchscreen still works. Anyways, like I said, it's not the fastest, and I know it's kind of blinding you, the glare, but it is not the fastest operating system, but it's not what it's designed for. It's designed to be be able to be tossed into a backpack and have your usability to connect to SDR software, because sometimes there's information out there that we're not getting locally, and there's a lot of things that happen in the world that you can scan into different countries and the radios and reports and ham radio operators, shortwave, whatever, and I'm trying to tilt this so that it's not so screwy, but the laptop itself is tilted. So that's the idea behind that. Okay, smaller. It's not very big at all. I don't know. It's like a 9 or 10 inch tablet with a keyboard, clamshell, and it's a hard shell. And obviously, I'm gonna go ahead and crank this down. It's not a. There's not a lot of, because it's an older product. There's not a lot of innovation and stuff like that. So to get stuff, you're buying refurbished. Hold on, sorry, this isn't the easiest. Oh, this is actually, I lied. That is the Linux Mint Debian LDME 6. That's not pure Debian. I do apologize for that. I thought this was the one that had that on it. And I've got another laptop that I wanted to show you. And like I said, when you buy the refurbished anything, you get the refurbished stickers on there. And that's where the little pointer stick or nests and it is a hard cover, so it's not ruggedized, but it's not far from it. So that's what's going on with that one. Hold on a second, I'll get the other device out that I'm jerking around with. And this one does have just pure Debian on it. Okay, and this is another, about the same size, a little bit bigger. That one was prior one was a Dell 5175. It's got all the firmware updates and all that stuff done to it. This is an HP 1011 or 1012. The one thing I like about this one is it's got in here you can put a SD card, and I think I've got a 1 terabyte SD card in there to give it a second hard drive for storage and stuff like that. Cameras, all the controls. It does have this adapter so that you can just plug it in with a regular power supply and then through here into the side, or there's a port on the side. It supports SD cards. And this one is the one, as you can see, upside down, Linux Debian Pure. I'm just surprised that I was smart enough to actually print labels for each of these so that I could remember what's on each one without having to open it and mess around with it. So let me get this thing cranked up and we'll jump back in here. Okay, I got it fired up, and turns out this is the HP Elite X2. I think it's a 1012 model, and fired the old bubblegum machine up. And the reason I like this is it's got the fingerprint reader. It too has 2 batteries, one for the keyboard, one for the device itself. And I think the thing that confused me is that I had put, that's Linux Mint with Debian LDME 6 on it, which is basically Mint running just straight up Debian. And usually Mint is, I believe, running Ubuntu. And I've got a couple devices with just regular Mint on them. So it's, just because I'm a newbie at this stuff and wanted something that was very, very similar. Get my Fred Flintstone feet out of the way. This too is, a relatively small, I mean, you can see my hand, on it. It's, I think it's about very similar in size, maybe a 10-inch pad, tablet, detachable screen. This was very similar to something that was used. Let me see if... the only thing I find that's a little odd with this one is that it... is the keyboard is just or the mouse pad, touchpad is a little bit, I mean, there's a lot of motion. I suppose I could make adjustments to it so that the mouse is a little bit more responsive. Basically, all I really wanted to do is start the thing up. And you notice that the screen, I don't know if you can see that. That icon down at the bottom is very much a Debian connection, or icon. And it's not the most powerful device either. I think it's the mobile i5 chip or whatever in this one as well. Turns out that neither one of these, the two that I'm playing with here, would support Windows 11, and with the ending of support in Windows 10, what do you do? So let's start learning some Linux. And actually what I'm doing here is just kind of letting it, give it a chance to sense that it's to realize that there's and this I think is very much the same setup. It's got flat pack and different repositories on it. So that you can run just about any type of software setup on it that you really want to run. And just like the Linux or the Linux Mint with LDME 6 on it, very similar setup, very similar package controllers, package administration. And I was hoping that the thing would pop up and say, hey, you've got updates, and I could go ahead and update whatever has been pushed out to devices. But I wanted to show you this one also is can be ran plugged into the power converter built into the Ascent, and it's made for portability, and it is pretty rugged. The hard, based on the small size of the frame, the case, and the battery and the keyboard, and it's a pretty rugged. I mean, I don't think I'd want to be tossing around, but it is a pretty stout little device, and it runs Linux like a beast. So when people are on YouTube and they're talking about running software for ham radio, and they're, hey, what ham radio or what laptop should I use? These little notebooks are perfect. They run Linux like a beast. The touch screen still works. It recognizes all of it. It's built-in identification of hardware and stuff like that. So it, if I took it out and turned it sideways, just uses it as a tablet versus with a keyboard and trackpad, it would work as well. So these are a lot cheaper, older technology, but you can pick them up for pretty cheap as long as that they function and you can get some kind of guarantee. I would have no problems recommending that you go out and grab yourself a Hewlett-Packard Elite X2 1012 and run that for your ham radio operations, where like QSO contacts, FDL or Digipeater, any of the things that you would need a laptop and run software. If you're running, say, satellite communications, and you need a geo-tracker, I believe I have a geo-tracker on here, and some other stuff that, like nav radar and stuff like that, the app for that, because I've got all the antennas up there for that. So the other thing is that these are small enough that I could throw both of these in one of my Faraday bags and just keep them there, and they're perfectly fine and usable. Have another Faraday bag to put the power supplies in. So if at some point that you could get power to recharge this thing, at least you could get back in communication with the world. This has chirp and all that stuff on it, so I could program my radios, or my portable mobile radio in my car, radios in the car, whatever. It's just handy. It's small. It's not light, but it's small enough to... It's not as heavy as a regular laptop, but it's still surprisingly heavier than you think it is. It's a chunk, but it's lighter than that, and it's a smaller form factor and just as powerful. So let me play with this a little bit more, and I'll get back to you, pull back in here in a second. While I'm doing these updates and stuff on some of the system software and stuff like that, it occurred to me that this version of Debian Pure also allows the use of Arch Linux repositories, Flatpak, and the other repositories, so that you can run just about any type of software repository or application on this laptop. that's the main thing that I was messing around with and why I wanted it. And this is the one that was kind of a pain to get fully installed. And it was a trick, I want to tell you that. But totally worth it. I recommend it. And again, this is the HP Elite X2 model 1012, I believe. And it's got a 1 terabyte card in it, and I believe the other one's got a 1 terabyte card in it as well, just for storage. So if you're on the market, again, I'm a big believer in Surface technology, and both of these pieces of software, the operating systems fully support touchscreen. The keyboard's older technology laptops. It's backwards compatible. Really urge you to consider that. Oh yeah, all kinds of errors popping up because I wasn't paying attention. But to urge you to consider some of these older laptops that you can get refurbished. Just get them with a guarantee so that you can send them back. Get them on Amazon or eBay, and utilize them for your communication software. This has got the satellite tracking and all that stuff. I'll be delving into building a couple antennas. It's also got the antenna modeling software on it, and expected transmission patterns, and based on the configuration, how you have it set up, takeoff angles, stuff like that. So really, really, really can't say enough about this software when it's not failing. And it's mainly the reason it failed. A, I wasn't paying attention, and B, I wasn't paying attention to the Synaptic Package Manager, and what it was saying to me. I just said, do it. So let me pause right here, and then I'll come in and we'll close this one out. Okay, well, thanks for hanging out and watching the update of the two laptops and the reason for the laptops, or the operating systems on them and the laptops. Consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and in all things, be good to each other. Have a good day. Thanks. Bye.